We had a big discussion in the last partner meeting about the community, and I think it lasted for an hour and a half, the definition of it. And I think we came to the same conclusion that we cannot define it, but we all understand it.
It's a very complex question.
Yeah, I know, so take your time. Tough question.
There might be different definitions of community for sure. I think one basic assumption when we are talking about communities is talking about people that have something in common. This thing might be, for instance, geography, like they are near each other, so they share some space, for instance. It might be some common interests, for instance, the opera lovers or the musicians in a certain situation, they share this common interest that is sound and music.
Bunch of people get together and they have this feeling of we, and that's, for example, very good with the football fans, because they go to the stadium, which I really like because it's a lot of people. Like, imagine 50,000 people want the same, the ball in that goal.
Not even in a good way, not in an intention.
It doesn't have to be a community of anything specific. It can also exist as a community for a small moment in time, and then it can just dissolve and it can gather again. But I think there is a kind of a energy or dynamic that is shared in a group of people that you know when that energy or that dynamic is creating or has happened in a group of people, and I think that's when it's a community.
I think the hardest task is actually to construct a community and then to manage it, to care for the community. It's about the feeling of belonging, I guess, that is very needed in the contemporary human condition.
There is the individual, there is the community, and there is the society. And community is maybe the inception of when one individual starts to think ahead or away from personal interest, but starts to engage into construction of a collective desire. For example, in the Ponte d'Incontro, they have these very young kids. They take a lot of effort to build this sense of a community, which is not yet there. There are several communities that meet at the library, and the library becomes a host for different groups. And in this way, the library plays a societal role in hosting communities. So it's an institutional place where communities can meet.
If you are inside one community, you still have your own identity, but you belong to that community, so you don't feel so lonely. You can share your life, you can share your experience, and you have a particular way of living.
Community is something that gathers together peoples. But actually, in an Italian way, community is perceived like something apart, something that is perceived like a ghetto. Why Italians had a strange idea about community, it belongs, it's an heritage from the Second World War. Because what was for Italians and for, of course, Germans, a community was related to Jewish. And to speak about community, it was like making a stamp, a mark over people, and we didn't want to.
Now a lot of people, a lot of associations are working with the community, so we have to talk about the community. We have to use this term, and I think that is changing in our Italian vocabulary, this kind of term.
Regarding communities, coming here from a different cultural background, I still have many things in common with the people that live in this neighborhood, for instance, and I have other things in common with other artists that work in the city, or I have things in common also with artists that come from other countries that are working also on Magic Carpet's platform and that are here. So you can see that there are communities that exist by the sole aspect of having of sharing some aspect even before you knew that you were part of that community, let's say.
We should all see what is really the honest reasons behind wanting to involve other people in your process of work, being that you want to get information or give them something back, or just create, a friendship for a while, or create a collaboration, a professional or human, whatever. So I think in this sense it's about honesty.
What else communities there are, like family? It's all the we three just sitting here. We are already the interview community.
So when you say word community, it's something that is very natural to understand, but very difficult to explain.
I put my watch here. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Nice. I want the movie 5 minutes of my watch and the sound of this. But we don't do it now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, silence.